Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Film Shilm. This week we did something special, and we went to the movies.
And cue that clip now.
Thoughts about
Hello, everyone. Hi. We just watched Project Mahir Harry. Hey, what? What?
Mahir Harry.
Yeah, that can't end well. It's Project Hail Mary.
Sitting in my car.
This is our first impressions. We didn't. We tried not to talk until the cameras were rolling.
We think overall it was.
I loved it.
I loved it. It was great.
Thumbs up.
Great film.
Really
Great
good.
film.
Thumbs up.
Thumbs up.
If you know, you know. Go and watch the film.
Go watch the movie.
I realized this after watching. There's a movie I want you all to watch. Nice Guys.
Yeah, I've already seen it. How about you talk into the microphone?
Ryan Gosling.
Oh, for half the movie, by the way, he called him Ryan Reynolds.
No, well,
He kept calling him Ryan Reynolds.
Ryan Gosling is an underrated, phenomenal physical comedy actor.
Yeah, he's literally me.
People don't give him enough credit for his physical comedy and his subtle comedy.
Yeah.
It was all out on display here.
It was
I
really
loved
nice.
it.
Yeah.
Second thing, this movie was entirely depressing with bits of comedy in it. I wouldn't call it a
What?
comedy. I wouldn't call it a comedy.
I like that take. It's a
It
good
was-
take.
I would say the opposite.
It was
like
really depressing.
Where?
I agree
Like,
with you, Hassan.
because the overall tones of like, oh, we're all gonna die. Oh, we're forcing
The
you
stakes were
against
really
your
high.
will to
No,
go
but
and do
now
this.
you're changing your thoughts retroactively.
you're diving into
For
spoiler
for
territory.
majority of the film, you were like, wow, we were laughing more than we were
That's
crying.
the whole point. It was overall depressing with really good comedy in the middle. With really good comedy in
I would say
bits
this
and
is a
pieces.
comedy first before it is a drama.
I agree with Hussein's point. Not
I'm
completely,
gonna
but
start
like I
driving
understand
it,
your point.
'cause we gotta get.
I completely
going.
understand your point.
Yeah, we're 5 minutes in. Your
I
things.
think
Actually, I don't know how
I think that's the end of it, and we'll be talking about this more when we be recording this episode later on in the week, and you will be seeing this obviously much later,
Yes.
not right after this.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah.
Catch our latest episode.
Wow.
See you guys soon.
Wow.
Please like, share, subscribe.
Nope.
No, that's not
Not
going
at all. Not at all.
So those were our initial thoughts right out of the cinema.
Listen,
After
Project
watching
Male Harry. We
Oh
watched
my
a
God.
2.5-hour movie. That's my bad. I called it Male Harry.
Project Male Harry.
This will be fair. We watched that film 2 weeks ago. They haven't
And I
let me.
haven't seen it since.
No, they
I
haven't
made
let
no
me live it
notes.
down. They keep saying Male Harry to me.
It's so
No,
funny.
for me,
He was so serious about it as well. So Project Male Harry.
My problem watching a film 2 weeks ago is I took no notes because we were in the cinema, and I haven't seen it since because it's not on anything else except in cinema, and I
Yeah.
barely remember anything. But I remember the fact that I love the movie.
Okay.
That's all you need to remember.
That's all I need.
Thanks for coming to this episode.
episode.
Okay, so for future tense, if you actually watch something in the movie theater, we have to record the episode the day afterwards.
Oh, guys, next time we watch something in the cinema, we're gonna record literally the next day or the same day.
Maybe
depending on-
That would be.
We'll
Dude,
be
you'd
too
be
tired.
exhausted, man. You also
Yeah.
gotta sit on what you thought about.
Despite having watched it 2 weeks ago, I did watch some of the behind the scenes stuff, and that did refresh my memory.
Yeah,
All
yeah,
of it,
yeah.
a lot
yeah.
of it. You know, the terms, the names, and all that stuff.
And
So,
considering
like,
there's currently in pop culture anyway, there's so many memes of people having recorded the screens
yeah,
from their phones.
I actually haven't
I've
seen a
watched the whole movie again
single-
with
just
people through
through
memes.
I have
scrolling.
not seen a single clip of it on my.
Because you're not engaging with. You know the types of stuff he sends me on Instagram
we
Reels?
can't talk about that.
Yeah, we're gonna
can?
get banned.
And how do you feel about this film?
Yes, I loved it.
Okay.
Absolutely loved it. I cannot tell you what this movie made me feel. It made me feel too many things.
So the three of us went together, and then we had a
Yes.
fourth friend too. So Hussein was
Yes.
sitting with them. They and Hussein were sitting over to my left, and Mahir was sitting to my right. And they would.
Yeah,
No,
I
you
need
should
to- I need
not
to
be
paint-
talking during the movies.
But I need to
Like,
paint you all a picture. It was the most because I was sitting there and remember there's another human being in between me and Ali and Mahir, and it was so annoying for the first 10 minutes. These men,
No.
these two boys were cackling and giggling over the y'all seen the opening scene where the zip opens? They lost their mind over a freaking zipper. And I sat there. And you know, I've been to the cinema with annoying like movie watchers before, and I was like, I'll never go to cinema with them. I assumed I'm going with people who I do a podcast about films, and I'm like, they're gonna be like super into it. Like Ali's gonna lock it. He's like,
No, you don't understand. People who really love
my
movies will
God.
go, "Oh, look at that! They did the thing," or you know, we
Yeah,
really
the
get
thing is,
into it.
We were like that for 10 minutes, but after that, we were
That's
completely
true.
silent.
Also,
the whole
to be
movie.
honest,
That's true.
I don't know about you, but for me, I was just so excited to watch this film.
That's
Yeah,
also
yeah,
true.
I went into it blind, but I was just having a really fun time thinking, "Oh, Shilm's going to watch a movie
That's
Yeah.
also
in the
true.
cinema." I was. Really
We also
excited
have
about that.
pictures. Cue the pictures.
Welcome. We are Film Shilm, and we're here to watch our next episode's movie, Project Hail Mary.
I remember we going in, we were just really excited. Me and Ali had
Yeah.
a lot of energy. We sat down and the national anthem shows up. We go, "Oh, it's the national anthem." And we stand up and then we're like,
Yeah.
"Oh, lazy,
It
ready,
felt
get
like
ready."
it felt like a school trip.
Yeah,
like a school trip.
Like
Good.
if you.
And
yeah.
then the title card comes up, the licensing and certification. We're like,
was
"Yo,
really
the
funny.
movie's starting. The movie's
It
starting."
was pretty fun.
And then the opening starts with the zipper, and Ali goes, "Yo, look, it's a zipper." Yo, what am I saying?
I had to actually catch myself. Like I just.
This movie doesn't require someone to tell you like, "Oh, shut up and watch." This movie gets you to shut up and watch.
Yeah,
Boom.
yeah,
It's
100%,
so good.
100%.
It's so good. It's so captivating, and the minute and the story is unfolded in such a way that you are naturally confused and you're learning it with the protagonist.
Mind you, in between the film, Hussain just goes, "Oh, I love Ryan Reynolds."
Yeah, call him Ryan Reynolds. Bro, up until I corrected him midway through the movie, he kept calling him Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah, I kept.
I think it's because his name is Ryland Grace.
Yeah, RG, Ryan Gosling.
I mean, no,
So
I just kept
you must have
no,
confused.
no,
What
I-
was going on?
I just confused Ryan Gosling with Ryan Reynolds.
Shame on you.
But can I tell you something? Ryan Gosling is the superior actor.
I know, because
I agree.
I'm acting in it. I know.
Yeah.
He knows.
I did
but
the
no,
acting.
I 100%
Because
agree.
I realized something, and I don't know if I should put this in the overview part or if I should put this in like the main part, but I genuinely think Ryan Gosling is one of the most underrated physical comedy actors out
Yes,
there.
Yeah.
that's a good
Because
point.
when you
Listen,
think
I
of
put a
physical
lot of
com-
effort into my performance.
Ali,
have-
this bit
you
is
have-
not. I'm gonna get sick of this bit.
You are, but
I'm gonna
in
get
the
really
movie,
sick of
man.
this bit.
But it's like, we get the
Keep talking.
What is going on?
Yeah, no, he's got about diss my acting right now. Give it a sec.
I'm
swear-
actually going to do the opposite of diss your acting. I'm going to undiss your acting, which is when you think of physical comedy actors, you go Rowan Atkinson, Charlie
Carrey.
Chaplin,
Jim Carrey.
No one really thinks about Ryan Gosling as he is the physical comedy actor of our generation. But he is, and he's so weirdly good about. Ryan Reynolds wishes he was Ryan Gosling. That's what I want to say.
Yep. I agree.
Ryan
with this. I agree
Reynolds
with this.
wishes he was Ryan
I
Gosling.
It's
agree
one
with
of those
this.
things where there's a similar comparison was made where Dwayne Johnson thinks he's John Cena.
Yes.
Yeah.
Do you know
Yes.
Yeah.
And I think it's
John Cena is such a he's
but like talking
such a
about
better actor.
yeah,
than
but
Dwayne
talking about
Johnson.
like Gosling, I think he started off as like the pretty sexy boy, you know,
Mm.
He still
and
is.
now he's such a good actor. Like Ken in Barbie, he was
Yeah.
phenomenal. He's
Yeah.
played
Hilarious.
roles that are hilarious. Blade Runner, such
I-
a serious.
wow.
and
he
deep
does
role,
he does
right?
great action movies too. I did
Yeah.
a like
Nice guys.
And speaking of Ryan Gosling, I think for me, the most unrealistic part of this film was a 7th grade teacher who looked like Ryan Gosling and was jacked and pretended to be a loner and had no loved ones.
That's true. He did have a loved one, but then she left him.
Yeah,
for
that's
Mark.
the most unrealistic.
For Mark.
That's the most unrealistic part of this film.
No,
Does
I
someone
mean,
believe
He's this
me?
sort
No,
of
but I do
awkward,
think-
glasses wearing. Oh, I'm just a scientist. I just teach kids in school. Dude, you're Ryan Gosling. You're literally him. So like that was the most.
I mean, Ryan Gosling's doing a podcast with us.
Yeah, I'm
I don't know
here
what he is.
already.
I don't know what you're
I'm
talking
go-
about.
I hate this bit.
This movie did something that I don't want to give Netflix the credit because I know we show
This
Netflix
was not
films.
Netflix. This was
I know.
Amazon.
Let me finish. I didn't. I don't want to give I don't want to give Netflix credit for starting this little trope of. Not. I'm not going to call it sci-fi, but like movies about the world coming to an end, kind of thing. It did this thing?
Oh no, let him finish.
Not
let him finish.
sci-fi, not
Let him
sci-fi.
finish. Let him
Okay,
finish.
okay, let him finish.
Let him
actually.
finish. Let him finish.
I think fans know by now my words aren't so good. So
This is my lawyer, by the way. This is my dude. I'm going to jail.
I'm going to jail.
Judge, my words ain't so good. Give me a minute.
Oh God, dude, I'm going to jail,
Your
man.
Honor, my words ain't too good.
Oh my God, I'm not making it,
Oh,
dude.
I'm going to jail.
I'm not making it, dude. I'm not making it.
Thank you for reminding me he's our lawyer.
Yeah, dude.
Wait, let me get to what I'm trying to say.
He writes our contracts. by
Oh
the way.
my
And
god.
that is like,
so
ChatGPT, give me a good contract right now.
My words ain't too good.
I've never used ChatGPT to write a contract. So, there's this movie.
Maybe you should, dude. I'm so sorry. That's mean.
Listen, you haven't read my contracts. I'll whip out a
All
contract.
right, go on. Don't whip anything out.
So there's a movie called Don't Look Up.
Yeah, I've seen it.
And it was a good movie. 1 second. Okay.
Just go on.
Yeah, so it was a good movie. But I think the biggest part about that film was it was an apocalypse style film. What I'm trying to say is this movie felt different in a different sense where you actually didn't know if he was going to succeed or not.
Okay. I think that's a good comparison.
Where am I going with this? What,
You finish
what
your point. It's
question
okay.
did you ask me?
Is
Nothing.
your point not ended?
What was the question?
Your Honor, what's this case about?
Wait, Your Honor, he didn't commit homicide. Misdemeanor. Public urination. I'm in the wrong courtroom.
No, this is my lawyer. I'm going to jail. Oh God! Listen, I think you've got your point across.
Yeah, you did.
I did.
Okay.
I understand what he's saying.
Thank
I
you.
understand what you're saying. I think you don't understand what you're saying, but I understand what he's saying. This film is a rare example of it's hopecore at its core, right?
Yeah.
Hopecore is a thing that's getting now. This is what I would say. I would give
Okay.
some credit to recent films.
Yes.
Hopecore is making a comeback
Yeah.
because the world is so goddamn depressing.
It really is.
That we need hopecore again. It's one of the reasons why
Superman
Superman
so it is so
2025
good.
was so successful.
Yeah.
And this film is, I think, in the same. I would put it in the same category as the hopecore.
Exactly.
film
So,
I'm talking
but my main argument when you said it was depressing, like, is that saying Superman was a depressing movie because Lex Luthor could just do whatever the hell he wants the whole movie, and because you saw the Jahan Purians look exactly like the Palestinians and what's going on in Palestine, making that makes that movie. No, there's premise of it that
Have you
is
seen
depressing.
Superman?
Yeah.
It's crazy how that was so
no, but
politically
that's
charged.
like saying that Superman is a depressing movie, but it's
Yeah,
not.
but
It's
again,
neither is this movie.
But I still.
But no, I again, to an extent, he is right. It is a depressing situation regarding not the entire film or the stakes, regarding the character of Ryland Grace or
God.
What
played by
he's
Ryan
going
Gosling,
through is
what
like,
he's
yeah.
going through. You're right. It is very similar to, for example, a lot of people on the internet still mourn for Laika the dog,
Yeah.
Laika the space dog.
Yeah.
You will see
Poor
reels
doggy.
about Laika.
Man.
Or
Poor doggy.
artists will make animations about Laika. They're so depressing. I cry, dude.
What do they put her in that one of the Guardian films, right?
Yeah.
Like
Well, it's based off Laika, but it's
based
not
off of
Laika.
Laika,
Yeah.
That's somebody else. That's Cosmo the space dog. That's a super powered dog. Anyways,
But the Guardians films actually
it's
have
dirty
like
and
a-
the Cosmo the dog is inspired by Laika.
Yeah.
But yeah. So
I'm just
Ryan
sad.
Gosling's character Ryland Grace is essentially a human Laika
Yeah.
put in a spacecraft
saved
against
the
their
world.
will that
That
saves
saved
the
the
world.
world.
And for the betterment of science, Laika was sent in space to study, so they could have an
They
understanding
study the
of
effects of-
study effects of
yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah.
So it did progress scientific study, but at what cost? You know, Ryland Grace. I keep calling him. I think I was calling him Grace. Yeah, the character of Grace is inherently a bit depressing, where he is sent here against his will. You're right. It is depressing how we are. It's revealed to us.
And I love how it's revealed to us. And the funny thing is, I caught it before it happened. Like, I could tell from early on, initially, when he's like, no, I don't want to go to space. And I'm like, okay.
In the flashbacks.
Yeah, in the flashback,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
how because they broke it down one by one. So I was like, yeah, no, okay, he doesn't want to go to space. Because initially, I'm like, oh, he volunteered for the position. And he's like,
But like they literally show 3 other scientists, and he's like, "Oh, I'm not going."
Yeah.
And then we wonder throughout the rest of the film, how did he end
how
up?
did he
end
end
up
up
with- yeah.
there? And then I assumed when the main researcher died, it was like, oh, he's gonna have his moment
Step
of
up,
like,
yeah.
He's like, and then he's like, no, I ain't going to space. And then I immediately, when he was like, I ain't going, I'm like, they're gonna force him in there. I know they're gonna force him up there somehow.
I wasn't expecting that, honestly.
All right, guys, welcome back to our feature of fan.
Feature a fan.
And today we have a new feature of fan. For
Yes.
This feature of fan for our new episode project.
Someone who hasn't
Hail
showed
Mary.
up twice now.
Someone who hasn't. Oh, okay, Ali. Someone who hasn't bailed on us.
Yeah.
We
Introduce
don't
our-
know this person either.
We no, we know this person. Don't worry.
We do know this person.
He's one of the.
Probably heard
he's
about
one
me.
of our
You
cousins.
definitely heard about
He's one
me.
of our cousins.
Don't.
He's one of our cousins.
Yeah.
Welcome Hashir to our feature fan.
Damn, that sounds so weird not calling him
Thank you,
Hashim Bhai,
thank
to
you,
be
thank you.
honest.
Okay, Hashir.
Hashir Bhai.
Hashir Bhai. Because he's a cousin, Hashir Bhai. Welcome Hashir Bhai to feature fan. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you,
Taking
thank
out
you,
the time.
Thank you for having me.
Pehle to give
Thank
us a
you
little
for
bit of an
having
introduction about yourself. What are you doing?
What do you do? What are you doing? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm currently doing my master's in data science from UK, and I've done my bachelor's from NUST in computer engineering, And fun fact, I was actually studying physics in my undergrad from NUST as well before I switched to computer engineering.
It was fit.
That's
This
pretty much
movie
all.
is
We've
like
got the,
right
we've got
up,
the right
yeah,
fan for this
it's
film.
right up your alley. That's good stuff.
Yeah.
So, chalo, so
Yeah,
clearly, kyunki you're on our feature fan, you've seen the movie. First of all, how did you feel about the film? Just give me a basic, like, did you like it? Did you hate it? What was your overall feeling film ke baare mein?
Right, so I'll be honest, I wasn't expecting it to be this good. The book had been, the novel had been out for some time now, but yeah, so I didn't really, I'm not really too much into what's it called, reading, so because I just don't have the time for it. But so I was just watching. I was like, okay, this I've heard a lot about it on Instagram, so I was like, let's watch it. And it really surprised me how well it was made and how much there was attention to this detail.
Harsh bhai, let's get into that attention to detail and those things that you really tell me. Give us some fun facts. Give us some stuff that you thought was really impressive about the film,
About the real science of
about
it.
the real science, and stuff you liked, stuff you didn't like.
Firstly, it doesn't break any known physics laws, right? So there's that. And it is interesting to wrap your head around it that we're basically just one breakthrough away from interstellar travel. That's the funny thing about relativity. So the basic concept in a nutshell is that if you keep on accelerating, time slows down, right? So as you approach light speed, you will not be adding more speed to your travel, but you would still be accelerating, and that in turn slows time down.
That's something what I really enjoyed that, like Hashim said, they took a concept that's sort of out of reach and then they added in an element which is something that's not really real, but it's believable enough.
The astrophage fuel.
Where it's like, okay, if we had this, all of this is possible. And so I think, like Hashim said, they did a great job with that.
Yeah.
It didn't, you didn't look at it and you go, okay, this is just some sci-fi crap.
Yeah.
that
It was
this
very
could never-"
believable.
Everything in this movie, nothing felt that it was like, why
Based
are they
in
doing
fake
this?
science.
So what you're
Except
saying,
for obviously the alien, perhaps.
maybe we don't know what's out there. So Ashaba, that's some of the stuff you liked about the film. Let's get into like anything you didn't like, something that was like, I did not appreciate this part of the movie,
Or I would have done it differently.
I would have done it differently.
To be honest, not really. Apart from maybe, if I was in his shoes, I might go back to Earth after
Goddamn.
reaching.
Let
Yeah.
Rocky
You
die?
would let Rocky
Even though
die?
you know Xenonite was like
No. After reaching Arid, after saving his species,
Like at the end.
because they did
Oh,
offer.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
They did offer him
was
to.
like,
I thought you were going to let Rocky die.
screw Rocky. He dug his own grave. I'm out of here.
मेरा काम हो गया घर चलो.
Damn.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, definitely
Okay,
not.
but
But yeah, otherwise, I think it was pretty well made. Yeah, I don't really. I mean, Mahir knows that I am really. I like criticizing.
It's so
movies
difficult
where they
watching
are-
a movie with Harshabhai
Yeah.
because every 5 seconds you
Yeah.
go, why are they doing this? Why is this? I hate this film.
Okay.
He'll start
Because
pointing out
I,
problems. I'm like, let me
pick up
enjoy the film,
pick up on
please.
these small
Imagine.
plot holes and they just really annoy me. But for this movie, I can honestly say that there was not really much I can criticize, and that's not just me. That's I mean, I'm probably just a layman as compared to all the other astrophysicists who are claiming that this movie was really well made, including Neil deGrasse Tyson. So that goes a long way to show how much Andy Weir put effort into his thinking.
So
Basically.
I think that's pretty good.
Yeah.
We I think we're safe to wrap it up here. You
Yeah.
boys agree?
Yeah.
Okay.
yes, sir.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you so much,
Harshabhai,
Harshabhai,
for
for
joining us.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you
you
for
for
being
having
part
me.
of this episode's feature fan, and
Yes.
we hope to maybe
You're
not see
welcome.
you next
Happy
time.
to be
or
here.
see
No,
you next
no.
time again, or-
I hope you enjoyed the episode.
Hope you
when it
enjoyed
comes
the
out.
episode. What are you doing?
All right, see ya.
All right. Thank
Yeah,
you. So
definitely,
much.
definitely share me the link. Yeah.
You generally don't know how to hang up. Like, he has no idea.
So did we get any comments this time?
Yeah. Okay. We got a couple from the Pakistan Film Society.
All right.
This is an actual vocal member. Your camera's in the way. I
Of
can't read
Pakistan
it.
Film
Can someone
Society.
read it for me?
No, okay.
Bro, nobody's saying it, but Project Hail Mary isn't a save the world movie. It's a teacher burnout movie where the happy ending is finding one student who actually listens, even if he's a 5-legged alien, and liking that classroom so much you quit Earth to stay in it.
That's pretty
Holy shit!
Can I have
As a teacher,
I have a-
that's a really good take.
I have a problem with this take though. Rocky, at a lot of times, you're just smarter than.
But he's not
Grace.
talking about Rocky.
But yeah, he's talking.
He
He
about
was
the
at
end.
Erd at the end. He was teaching all those kids.
Yeah, he was teaching multiple kids.
But he is talking about Rocky actually.
He's talking about
because
Rocky.
Rocky is obviously
The
curious about
a 5-legged
this-
alien. He's not talking about all.
He is talking about
five-legged-
Rocky because obviously Rocky is meeting an alien for the first time. You want to learn
And
everything about
I'm
him.
sure that, like, if it was a teacher burnout film, I don't think a teacher would appreciate a student. Like, the teacher's like, so guys, 2 + 2 is 3. No, you dumb ass, it's 4. Like, I don't think anyone would appreciate that. No teacher. Would you appreciate being corrected
What
by
is he
students all the time?
talking about?
Would you appreciate being corrected by your students
Settle
all
down,
the
settle down,
time?
settle down. First of all, not all the time.
That's
Secondly,
what Rocky did.
secondly, it's a good take.
It's an interesting.
I may
But the
not
thing is,
agree with it, but it's a really good take. I
It's a
think.
cute
Not in the in this. He genuinely loved his kids. Even in the book, he leaves the project midway and comes back because he cares about his kids.
That's cute.
Yeah, that's the only reason I wouldn't agree with this take.
Yeah.
Is because at no point do we feel like he's unsatisfied with his students.
The only reason
Like he even in the actual movie, he only goes because he wants to help save his
kids?
third graders. Yeah.
Aww.
We got another one. This is from my friend Turkey.
I mean, Project Hail Mary was just an amazing movie. It did such a good job at showing what it means to be hopeful in a very unnerving and scary situation of impending doom. Honestly, my biggest remembrances of the movie would be how the visuals just really showcased how the universe can be empty if you look at it from one way, and then just so colorful and vibrant if you look at it from another way. Just from their usage of different waves, like the Petrova line, and then the gamma waves and radio waves of communication between the Rocky, and it was such a clever way of depicting how the universe can be empty at one instant, but then so full of life in the other instant. Obviously, yeah, I gotta say how amazing Ryan Gosling's performance was. It was equally as serious as it was hilarious. From the start of him falling out of the bed and screaming to a few minutes later of him mourning the loss of crew members he doesn't even remember existing. It was honestly just an amazing film. And then at the end of the movie, I don't know if you're gonna put this in, but at the end of the movie when he proceeds to go back to save Rocky, knowing that he might not even make it, he might die. So it was like a double Project Hail Mary, because it was a Project Hail Mary to go send him to go and actually figure out if we can stop this, and then he had to shoot it back and be like, oh, there's a good chance I can return, or I just go save my rock friend. It was just an amazing, hopeful, like in a time in the world where everything seems so sad. It was a very good change of pace, very good, like hopeful, amazing. I remember sitting with my friend and just like being bewildered and happy watching that movie. It was a great movie.
Hope Core is a really
Yeah.
good point where a lot of people are seeing this as a really hopeful, and I really like how a lot of people are acknowledging the fact that in such a bleak world that we're living in, it's quite dystopian. And just an idea of chalo, I won't get into that actually, that's too political. But yeah, Hope Core is coming back, and I'm very happy to see that.
The next person's one. This is a good point in discussion because they don't like the movie per se.
Oh,
Okay, let's see.
No,
Who's
this
the
is-
next person?
This is Cinema Literacy Union on
Okay.
Instagram.
Okay.
They mentioned a couple of things, so let me get into it. I probably have too many, so please ignore if you like. I thought this film was deeply flawed, if entertaining. That was grossly overhyped. Here's a list of what I thought were issues. My major issue was this film is that there's a remarkable lack of imagination applied to Rocky and where he comes from. Besides the awesome puppetry that went into his realization, he's basically just a dog for Ryan Gosling to interact with. They couldn't imagine an alien that doesn't have the same general worldview as a liberal American ? The lack of imagination also extends to the sequences, all of which are ripoffs of better films from Gravity. Better bits of film like Gravity, Interstellar, etc. The second point is the cinematography and the way it uses strobe lighting is so realistic you can barely see what's going on in major sequences. And then after spending the whole film building up to a reveal of what Rocky's ship might look like, they spend the entire reveal sequence giving us an extreme close-up of Ryan Gosling's face. Admittedly, that's not the fault of the cinematography. And the third point, so NASA already knew everything the alien civilization already had discovered, and Rocky's species knew how to send a spaceship into deep space, but didn't know what radiation was. American propaganda.
What?
Okay. Let's
take this
go into this
one
step
by
by
one.
step. Okay.
I remember getting out of the
yeah.
cinema. The first point I made was I really like how this film did not show Rocky as just
Yes.
a dumb animal
Like
and
a
he is an
dog.
incompetent
Like a puppy.
engineer, which is completely
okay.
not that point. Which is he literally is a proper accomplished engineer of his species. They've sent he's a scientist on his planet, sent on his ship to go find out what's wrong.
And I think inherently scientists will always have a more open mind. Like you could take a scientist from any country in the world, regardless of what their
And they'd be just as curious
whatever.
and
Like they
imaginative.
could be like you had a scientist from Russia, you had a scientist from China, you had a scientist from the US, you had a scientist from all over the world. I think scientists inherently, because that's what it needs.
need that
one of that
collaboration,
basic
yeah.
inherent need of a scientist is curiosity. Open
Which one are
mind.
you responding to?
The first one. We're doing the first.
Yeah, okay.
And so I think even with Rocky,
He was inquisitive.
because he's a scientist.
Yeah.
If you
Yeah.
aren't inquisitive, you're not going to be a scientist.
Yeah,
You-
another thing throughout, and we find this out. You bring this up as brought this up before as well, which is that Rocky does call him, "Wow, you're really dumb for someone."
Yeah.
Yeah.
For like
Yeah.
you're the one they
Flashback,
sent.
yeah.
Why is a teacher in space? You know, he even
Middle
questioned
school,
why
elementary
you're
school.
here.
And
Yeah.
You know, why they send you?
I also the first part. I mean, I don't want to talk down to a fan. Obviously,
I will.
because-
Terrible take.
Okay, but I don't want to do
I'm
that.
still like trying to figure out.
So
liberal
I don't
American.
think so. So I mean,
I think we're
I
gonna
think okay. So
brush
I
over
think
that.
what is happening here is the world looks at anyone that isn't someone who's supporting the current American administration as a liberal American, basically. And if you don't actively like agree with what the current government is doing or the current Republican Party is doing, you're like, you are a liberal human being. You know what I mean? Like, I think that's just, and Ryan Gosling cannot. I don't think I could ever see Ryan Gosling as like a
Does that
MAGA.
happen in the movie though?
But that's
hang
also
on.
the point.
Coming,
it has
you're-
nothing.
coming exactly to your point. Let's go because it links directly to third one. So NASA already knew everything the alien civilization had discovered. What does that mean?
Okay, so let me get into this. So there is no propaganda here because look at it this way. Sure, why is an American going to space? Because the U.S. outside of Russia has the largest space program in the world. The only countries with active space programs with the ability to send astronauts into space are the Americans, the Russians.
Indians.
I think the Chinese. I don't know if the Indians
They
do
did.
have.
The Indians
Like-
they do
They
have
did.
a large space program.
Yeah.
They have
not
but can they
the
send
biggest.
astronauts?
Um,
into
I don't-
Haven't they recently?
I don't think so.
Like
I
in the
don't
last-
know.
They
I don't
sent
years.
something up to a planet. Like they sent. I
No,
think
they sent a team recently, didn't they?
Did they? I'm not sure.
Irrelevant.
Oh.
But what I'm trying to say is this movie is literally not America. It's just how the world is.
Yeah. No.
The Americans have a space program, the Russians. So any movie about space, there's always going to be a Russian astronaut, there's always going to be a Chinese astronaut, there's always going to be an American, because these are the only big countries that actually have proper space. I mean, other countries also have big space.
I also don't understand this. So NASA has already known everything the alien civilization.
Also, they don't.
discovered.
Grace
The
is,
whole- they
Grace
really
is
went there.
figuring it out
In
as
real
we
time.
go along.
And they went there to figure out what was wrong.
Exactly.
Same thing with Rocky.
And those guys also went there to find out what was going on. So they were both equally clueless. They were both discovering stuff. Rocky did not feed him any new information that he did not already know.
I mean, again, it's a
give and take. Yeah.
They
Radiation.
They basically exchange notes. Okay, what do you
Yeah.
got? What do I got?
yeah. And I love that. Okay, anyway.
Radiation. Well, the reason I bring it up again
Yes.
because this in real life, this is post Americans already having made it to the moon. We had multiple challengers and everything. Safety protocol is written in blood. Obviously,
Yes.
there's a reason why we have safety procedures. In 1997, a doctor by the name of Dr. Karen, I forgot her last
Okay.
name. She died of dimethylmercury.
Okay.
Okay, pretty innocuous. She had all the PPE. This is 97, so it's very
Recent.
Recent.
Like, yeah.
all the protective procedures she has on. She has the latex gloves and everything. 2 tiny drops of dimethylmercury touched her glove.
Yeah.
Seeped through her glove, touched her skin. 6 months later, she dies of heavy metal poisoning. This is recent.
Yeah.
So maybe Rocky Civilization hadn't encountered radiation at that point.
Yeah.
And so they had nothing to.
And that's
back on.
completely
So because
possible.
we're still discovering things. Like
Maybe radiation
have
doesn't
hindsight.
affect his physical anatomy the way
at
it does
that point,
us.
because
No, it does because his
teams
entire
died
crew died because
of radiation.
Oh, right.
So the reason I bring up Dr. Karen's story is the fact that she died because we're still figuring out things
Yeah.
that
Maybe his
affect
crew,
us
maybe his crew was the first crew that ever died from radiation poisoning.
Maybe
and
his
they didn't
crew-
have
over
protocols.
long-term
Yeah.
I mean, if
radiation.
in 97 we died of a type of radiation poisoning, maybe they died of a recent type of
Yeah,
radiation poisoning that
exactly.
they hadn't discovered.
Anyway,
Exactly.
so-
you know, we're always
so it
discovering
can
things.
still exist in that realm of understanding.
I do have some points now that we're here. Can I?
Yeah, go ahead. That's the reason I brought these up.
I
so we
have
can-
some points that I did not like about the film, and
Oh.
we've discussed this before. One of them was they really rushed through the language.
Yeah.
How-
Okay, yeah, I
how
remember.
he
yeah.
teaches, or not, he doesn't teach Rocky, but how his
The computer locks
program
in.
Translates for
develops
both of
and
them, yeah.
Because I'm 100% that is possible. I'm not saying it's not possible. I'm just saying I would have loved to go down that journey a little bit more to see how. I get why they like skimmed through it and why they sort of fast tracked it, because obviously they don't want to drag the movie through. Oh, he's still learning how to speak words, you
Right.
know. But I love how they went through it.
There's a cut of the film that's 3 hours and 45 minutes long. So I feel
Where
like,
is that?
I want to watch
Yeah,
it.
people want to watch that.
When it's out, we'll watch
because
it.
that's I feel like
I hope
It's
they
gonna
do
be
it.
in there.
focus
So,
on that.
but this whatever.
But how much more could you have shown?
That's
Yeah,
I guess-
I think they could have shown. Like again, for me, that was one of my
Like
main
each
points as well.
individual
Like they
word?
went from looking at numbers to suddenly full spoken language.
Yeah.
Like
sentences,
words getting in.
right? I think if you either show a longer duration where we see them developing it,
Right.
or keep the duration the same of the film, but throughout don't immediately jump into full sentences.
Yeah.
Throughout,
It's
he
broken,
slowly it's
yeah.
broken. Starts off very broken, few words, point and words. And then it becomes full language. And by the end, you could see that development happen, because by the end, he doesn't even need the machine. He understands him so well.
Yeah, directly.
I mean,
yeah.
that's
With
because
the
he's there.
kids.
He's probably
Yeah.
been there for months.
Hit them.
So, thank you for your
I mean,
point.
thank you for your point.
Cinema Literacy Union.
We have
Yeah.
we love feedback, and we love that not everyone is like, oh, we love it, we love it, we love it.
That's the best part. About
That's the best part. But
Discourse is important.
discourse is important. But I would like to say I don't agree with anything they've said. Like, I don't agree with any of these points that they've made.
I can somewhat agree with the second point, about the cinematography. And the
I don't
lighting,
even
but
agree
I
with
think,
that.
I think that's more of a subjective point.
Yeah, okay.
Like that, it's not inherently
and
correct.
that's fine. That's
or,
fine. But thank you.
if that's the way you
Okay.
see it, then that's the way you see
So
it.
this
Stuff I
is from Hamza, is a friend of ours. It's
Mhm.
a mutual of ours we've
Mutual
gone
friend.
through along. He loved that. Okay, loved the fact that Rocky wasn't the alien genius who outsmarted Grace at
Yes.
every turn, but that he was just as skilled in different ways. Makes the
Yes.
dynamic feel like a real partnership instead of Rocky just figured it out. I also really like the detail that how the Iridians never developed physics around light or radiation because their atmosphere made those concepts invisible to them. So like neither of those two being have the complete those two beings have the complete picture hence they need to work together to figure stuff out.
Yeah.
He loved the cinematography. It's just beautiful film overall. I love I got to see it in IMAX. He actually did got to see it in IMAX.
Yeah.
Favorite scene was the Astrophase shower sequence. Did that practically.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about that.
Yeah, the closest were done practically, which is crazy. Wait, before I continue on, the first point is literally
opposite
of the previous comment,
which we just agreed about.
Yeah.
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 And this
Them
explains it
both
because
exchange-
radiation is
yeah.
based off of light. I guess
It's based off of
I
light
don't know.
waves and all that.
I have
It's
no
a
clue.
radiation wave,
I don't know. I have
I'm,
no
I'm
clue.
a
But it
lawyer
is-
dog.
Guys.
I'm a lawyer dog. I don't know any of this stuff.
So
But he did.
he's right.
electrical
Their
engineering at one
entire
point, yeah.
atmosphere and their entire anatomy
Yeah.
even is
Yeah.
based around. They do not have
heavy
vision. They have
atmosphere.
echolocation though.
Yeah.
But yeah, it would completely make sense for there not to be radiation or anything like that. Also, another point, which is that they were basically exchanging notes. Okay,
Yeah.
here's my interpretation over here's yours, and it was really cool to see that. And on the opposite spectrum, it's nice to see that Rocky was not smart. Like I said, sometimes aliens are shown as way ahead of us
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
way behind us.
Yeah.
This was like that. There's not even a middle ground. It's just different.
Yeah, it's just different.
It's different.
It's just
You know
different.
different things. I know different things, and I thought that's how alien life would essentially
Their
be.
ship
Yeah.
is a million times cooler than ours.
Yeah,
though.
100%.
Oof, so sad.
I like the amnesia structure as pacing tool throughout the film, not only because it lets us let him drift through the exposition without dumping all the heavy info, but also mirrors Grace
Yes.
re-earning his own
I
identity.
love it. Because can I just say I loved that. I mean, I know it's very like it's simple, but I love the way that it were the entire time they're showing about how he's not selfish, but he's like, I don't want to be the hero. I don't want to be the hero. And then he realizes he was forced into space, and now he has an opportunity to also not be the hero.
Overcome this, yeah.
But he's like, and he doesn't even do it because he wants to be the hero. He's finally found, like, it's not that Earth isn't worth fighting for, but Rocky is 100 times, like, it's 100% worth fighting for. And he's like, I'd
This is why he
rather
turns
risk.
back,
He
yeah.
didn't know that Rocky was gonna build this like cool home for him, and he'd have a chance to actually get home, or he'd have a chance to have a life. He did it. He's like, I might die, but like, I'm doing it for Rocky. Like, I just love how. I don't know. I just love it.
No, you're right. You're right. Because I think
so cute.
up until he met Rocky, he was just going like, God, I gotta do this. All right.
No, because like it was
might as
either
well,
him.
you know.
The information was going to make it back to Earth. Earth was going to be saved.
Yeah.
Earth has a chance of getting saved.
Yeah.
Iridian,
Yeah.
the Iridians don't have a chance of being
Yes.
saved without Rocky. Because the Beatles left I can't
The
say
probes.
why.
Oh, sorry.
The
Damn,
probes,
bro.
the Beatles. They couldn't have made it. They could have made it without
Yeah.
Grace's intervention. They make it.
But Rocky
without-
had to be the one to go back all the way and give
Exactly.
the information. They didn't have probes to send back.
And there was no way to send a probe to Iridia either way.
I love Rocky.
Because of the fact that the probe would have been made of xenonite and
Yeah.
it would have died on transport.
Yeah.
So, regardless.
I love Rocky.
Anyways, back to what he said. Love the focus on practical effects. They love that they had Rocket as a puppet.
Yes.
Rocky as a puppet gave him a much more physical presence, which made the interactions feel more real.
Can we actually talk about the puppeting scene because he's mentioned it now? Like we can.
So let's just talk about the practical,
Yeah.
practical effects a bit. So a lot of the set design even was
Yeah.
all practical.
Yeah.
It was all
The-
built proper and all that.
The Hail Mary was all.
I loved it. I loved it.
Beautiful.
It was so well done.
And
The
Rocky,
design of the ship was great. I
Ooh.
loved the different aspects of like sometimes they have to turn the gravity on to do other parts, and when the gravity was off, he made like a little string thing,
to
and like
get
he could-
around.
yeah.
and I love that. I love the fact that the little atmosphere, like they had to create another element to make it a little more interesting. Rocky can't be in his atmosphere. He can't be in Rocky's.
yeah.
So he has the little. Also, that's one thing I also didn't understand. I don't hate it, but I didn't understand. Where was Rocky getting all this material from
Xenonite.
to just constantly build like a hamster ball for himself and build little
He must have
environments?
stuff at his
Yeah, in his
ship. It's a
ship.
huge ship.
That's also true.
I mean, they must have some storage and all that.
Okay,
stuff,
fine.
You know?
Never
And
mind.
I
You
want to
answered my
come.
question.
This relates back to his point that he's made in previous discussions about eating. Right? We don't get eating, but what I responded to you was like the physicality of having interactions. Right? Touch. Right?
That's the point you're talking about. There
Exactly.
was an eating scene here. Rocky was disgusting during that.
No, but
part,
like
sure.
even then, right? That
Yeah.
that interaction of being
Yeah.
able to touch,
Yeah.
physicality is
Yeah.
important. You can see in films, other films, not this one, but where they don't interact with their background. It's just a setting for people to stand in, to say their lines, and then screw off. But in this, they're deliberately interacting with the Hail Mary. They're deliberately interacting with Rocky's ship. Everything is like smacking into each other,
I love it. I love it.
which
It
adds-
feels analog and it feels great.
great, right? The ability. This is what makes
Yes.
human
Yeah.
experience.
Do that
The-
more.
I forgot my camera's not there. It was like this is a innate human
Yeah.
experience, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The ability to touch, and that's what bonds both of them together,
Yeah. And
right? Because even though they can't see each other,
yeah.
I mean, one of them can.
yeah,
They both can
they're
in
different
their
ways
own
of seeing
way.
Each other.
Yeah.
The touch is
Yeah.
something that they
God,
both
the
have.
hug scene killed me every time when the big ball
Yeah.
hug, and he's like, "Why you do that?"
But like another thing about Rocky, about the practical effects of him, was that obviously he was a puppet.
yeah,
There was an animatronic version, there was a puppet version, there were
Yeah.
model versions. Some of them were CGI. Like for example, the ball in the ship, the ball was practical.
Yeah.
The James Ortiz was moving
Pushing
the
it
ball
around,
around,
yeah.
pushing it around, but the Rocky inside the ball was a VFX.
Yeah.
Because that VFX James Ortiz out of the shot and they put him in there.
I don't hate
but,
that. I mean,
yeah,
it's
well, obviously it was just done really well.
Best supporting actor, by the way. He should win best.
He
was-
should. They
it
said he's
was-
eligible for the Oscar. By the way,
He better be.
this is another interesting thing. He was just the stand-in voice.
Yeah.
He was the placeholder voice as the puppet. He was supposed to be just the on-set voice for Ryan Gosling to have jump off of. But his performance was so good and it became so unanimous with Rocky that Ryan Gosling associated him when they're done filming, when they're in the post-production phase, they were like, all right, who do we cast to voice Rocky? And they were like,
Just do it, man.
just
He already
they,
did
they
it.
were like, we don't need anyone because he's captured it so perfectly, the soul and emotion
Yeah.
of Rocky.
oh my god, I did not know that.
And
That's so
a
cute.
credit to James Ortiz, because a lot of people, if they know that you're not gonna be the final voice,
Yeah, they don't
they
give it
don't
all.
give it their all.
Yeah.
They're like, all right, let's just do a
That
monotonous
is
voice.
actually really. That's a really good point because yeah, if you
But
just
the fact that he gave it his all,
And still came out amazing.
yeah,
it came out amazing. It's
Yeah.
amazing that they were like, no, this is the perfect voice for
I
Rocky.
love that. I love that. That
Okay.
that makes me so happy.
Gosling brought his A game as usual. The film wouldn't have
Yes.
worked if it didn't sell this friendship with the Rock Spider thing.
Rock Spider? Oh, Rocky.
Rocky.
Okay. My favorite point, I love Hope Core. Yeah.
Core.
I love that this film, this is actually a hopeful film with aliens in it. Usually alien films end with humans dying or humans killing the aliens. But here we get a genuine
Yes.
cooperation between two beings whose worlds are doomed unless they can work together.
Yes, and I love the fact that they didn't have to have that in order to. Usually, it's like, oh, I hate you, you hate me, but let's work together.
Yeah.
Here, they were already working together before they realized, oh
The
crap,
first
we need
thing
to,
they wanted to do was work
was like
together.
figure it out. Like I loved that. I loved that. Again, it's what real. It's not like, oh, I hate you because you're different. It's like, let me
Yeah.
understand you
I
because you're
mean,
different.
It is real
Sometimes.
world if they're like, I hate you because you're different.
No,
That's the
listen.
problem
also,
with humans.
No, also, I do think that like we do crap on. I mean, no, humans deserve to be crapped on, but I also think we crap on them just a little too much. I don't know why.
And they almost
You
blew
say
up.
them like you're not human.
I mean,
And in the movie, they cut it out, but they did nuke Antarctica.
I mean, they did it for us.
Anyways,
Listen.
so the stuff he didn't like, pacing issues, especially towards the end. When I was watching a film, felt like had multiple places to end, but it kept going, so never really felt like they got the one emotional climax. More like 3 or 4. But I also wanted more time spent in the science.
Yes.
watching
Working through their
Grace and
problems.
working
Yes,
through their problems more.
100%.
I think that's where the
Yes,
film was
that's
at
where
its
the film
best.
was at its best.
But runtime was already pretty long as it is. Yeah, actually, this goes on to what you guys. And in the books, from what I've been told, there's long stretches of him just doing math.
I love it.
Yeah, yeah.
I love it. I mean, I wouldn't.
And it
I
takes a
hated
while in
math.
the book for like the language development thing. It takes a while in the book.
I love that. I love
Didn't really care about the supporting cast on Earth. Strat was the only interesting character. Felt like they could have connected us with the other astronauts better. So I actually gave a crap
mean, we like
that
Carl.
they died on the Hail
Carl
Mary.
was the best.
No,
Carl
okay,
was the
okay. With this point from Hamza, the end part, sure they could have connected us better with the other astronauts. I think they didn't do that because if they had, it would have just been a lot. Like the comedy wouldn't have been able to have come through as prevalent as it did with Gosling's
I don't
part.
think it would have affected the plot.
The plot, like them, us knowing them better, not knowing them better is irrelevant.
That's my point.
That's exactly the same point.
That's exactly
Nothing has changed.
No, what I mean is,
story
wait,
is not
no.
affected by it.
But what I mean is, had they done that,
Yeah.
it would have been slightly harder for us to have enjoyed it as a comedy.
Maybe. Yeah.
That's what I was trying to say.
Because again, the film opens with the
Okay.
2 astronauts dying.
Already
right?
dead.
and
Yeah,
you're like,
okay.
but again, I
Maybe
think,
if you see them a little more humanized. I mean, we got plenty of humanization.
and can I
with their
say that
pictures and everything.
I still think they did it well enough where I actually did feel a little sad
Yeah.
because I knew they were gonna sacrifice their lives. They knew they were gonna die, so I'm not like depressed that like, oh, they knew they were gonna die. I knew they were gonna die, but it's just the fact that they died for nothing. Where they died, where they didn't even achieve what they were
Right,
supposed to
right.
achieve before. I love that. I love that last point. Love the fact that they're so spot on Arid, Grace is spent. Yeah, I love that.
Are you okay?
the fact
Did
that
you
by-
try reading
I
this?
did.
You're not reading the wrong.
No.
What do you?
He tried reading the last sentence
And
and gave up halfway through.
And it's not even. He said spot on something. Love the fact that by the time they're on Arid, Grace has spent so long with Rocky that he doesn't need the transition.
I love
So
that.
here's a comment from my brother. Project Hail Mary is an excellent movie that subjects the viewer to consider whether believing in something bigger than them is really is a universal emotion. This movie stunning and contrasting everything. Scheisse. This movie, stunning and contrasting everything that has come out in the past year, insists that there is something that can connect people and species beyond our senses.
It posits that hope, a prayer, and grit can warp and change both humans and aliens. The movie where human beings throw a Hail Mary full of grace to the stars find beliefs and dreams bigger than our own. They also find other species that are doing the same thing. In a world where people hope for less and less and beg for less and less, it's comforting to believe in this speculation that if it really came down to it, the universe would be able to unite and pin its hopes on one thing. Also, this is Ryan Gosling's best solo performance so far. Until recently, he's always needed a foil in a better actor/actress. This might be the first time he's really held his own. I think the last point is a really solid point.
Yeah.
It's a really good point. He has
Also
great
has a
chemistry
chance.
with a lot of actors.
I
but
don't
this
think-
is one of those few
on his own.
situations.
I
where
wouldn't
he's
say
doing
it's
it
his
on
best solo performance, maybe, but
How many other solo performances does he have? Is the
I don't
point,
know.
That's my point.
But that's
Blade Runner?
But
Yeah, that's a solo
but
performance.
I will definitely say this was one of his better. Man, he has very few performances where he's flat and he's dry and he's this and he's that. He's just
Blade
he's a
Runner?
great actor all around. But sure, this is a great.
Dude,
yeah,
I
this is a
would
good
know
take.
which movies I've acted in, okay? I need you to
shut
calm
up,
down.
Ali.
Okay, I think we have one more.
Do we
Yeah,
have
that's
any other?
that's all the
okay,
comments that we
that's-
got. Thank you everyone for commenting
Thank
and
you,
sending
thank
in
you,
what
thank
you thought
thank
what your
thank
thoughts were.
thank you.
Even if you didn't
And-
agree with them, thank you so much.
That's also true. Please keep sending us things we don't agree with because it gives
Yes,
us things to talk
the
about.
discourse is important.
And we got through a lot of the movie through the comments, and I like that.
Yeah,
exactly. That's the only
it's a
reason I put it
nice. Okay, that's mean.
Coming to the
No, because we don't we watched it in theaters. We needed other people's comments.
That's
to
also true.
Bounce off of it.
Yeah, so Rocky the puppet was designed with markings and had a personality. You'll notice that even he goes, this is clothing for special celebration. They created an entire culture behind. We
Yeah.
want it to look like he has an armband, he has tattoos.
Yeah.
He's got a marking for his mate. So
Yeah,
like
Adrian
it's-
has a marking on it.
he's not just a random character, it's a character with personality, and it shows in their character design. And I'm a big sucker for character design, and I really liked how they tried to show, okay, this is it's a person who's lived a life,
Yeah.
and it shows
A
on their
very
body,
long life.
and there is a sequence where Grace falls unconscious and Rocky climbs out.
Oh,
To save him, man.
dude,
to save him.
Can I say something really interesting?
Go ahead, yeah.
I don't know why I said that. I love that scene, and that scene genuinely, I had to close my eyes and I had to like
I
look down.
was
I was
so
so stressed. I
depressing.
was so no, it's not. It was stressful.
So
I was
stressful.
like losing my mind because it was just like I genuinely thought they would have killed Rocky. I thought like it's
I
one of
was
those
so afraid.
Usually in movies where it's like, okay, maybe he doesn't die, maybe they don't kill him, maybe he survives. Here I was like, he's dead. There's no way he's surviving this. And then when Rocky moves, I'm like, oh my god, it's genuinely.
Also, I found out this fun fact that how when he was coming out
Yeah.
and the environment made him turn black and it looked like suit and everything. So in the book, when Grace sees that he's covered in suit and everything, he's like, oh, he's hurt, he's injured, he chote. And so on an unconscious Rocky, he cleans it all off, right? And then when Rocky comes to consciousness, he was like, you should not have done that because that was actually my biological body's covering myself to protect myself. So Grace almost killed
Killed him,
Rocky
yeah.
Again.
because he was, and
Yeah.
it's just, I really like that point from the book, and I wish we saw that in the film because
He doesn't know anything.
Things
about it.
things happen
Rock-
differently.
yeah, Grace was his understanding.
human.
Yeah.
Okay, he came out in a dangerous environment. He looks hurt. He looks different.
I need to
I
clean
should
it.
help.
Yes.
He was doing the best thing, but you are so different from them. You don't know what their
What to
biology
do,
is like.
yeah.
And Grace was like, "Yo, don't." That's like imagine somebody we were hurt and we are healing,
And someone just
there's
cuts it open
and there's
again.
it cuts it open again. Oh my God, you're hurt, and then cuts it open. Like you get a scab and they rip it off.
Yeah, I get
It's
it.
like
Rip the
that.
scab off, yeah.
It was
But you know-
basically a scab.
and they did a little bit of that in the movie with the sleeping thing, and I really like that because he's like, Iridians need to watch each other sleep because
Yeah.
we sleep for days. And like Ryan Gosling explains, Grace explains that thing where he's like, they don't sleep like us. Like they just, it's like dead. They're
Paralysis.
dead.
You,
Yeah.
you can't tell.
And they
yeah.
can't protect themselves, nothing. So like they take turns watching each other. And I thought that element was so cute. And I love how Grace stayed up for days.
Yeah.
Or just slept or like tried to be
as
near
awake
him
as possible. Yeah.
because I was like, and man, this movie just hit every little like straight. I loved it so much. I'm telling you, I loved it so much. This movie, it's been a while since I've seen a film that I was just like, I love it. I
I just want to
loved
make
it.
one final point before we get to the technical and behind the scenes aspects,
Yes.
which is about something that our fan Harshabhai also said, is that it's so refreshing to see a movie that is not nostalgia bait or a
Yeah.
prequel
Yeah.
or a sequel
yeah,
or
yeah,
an
yeah, yeah.
IP
It's
or a
just
franchise.
completely fresh off the
Even
book,
though
yeah.
it's an adaptation of a book, it's still a fresh story. And the fact that it's being so successful right now
Yeah.
gives, again, it's a hope core film and it's all, but it's also giving me hope for
Films
Hollywood
adaptation,
and
yeah.
cinemas and theaters and films overall.
Like last year we had Sinners, fresh IP,
haven't
Fresh
seen it.
IP.
so new everything, and now this year we have.
And
Project
this
Hail
happens
Mary.
almost every few decades with Hollywood, where there's an oversaturation of non-original
Nostalgia bait.
stuff, and then you have new people come up and tell new stories. 30 years from
That's
now,
just-
we'll be watching Project Hail Mary, the new beginning,
That's
or
just-
Project Hail Mary, the franchise, because then it'll be nostalgia bait for the new
Yeah.
generation, right? They'll have Sinners 6, it'll be
Sinners
insane.
Extended Universe.
Extended universe, exactly.
Sounds like a Rick and Morty parody or something.
Cheering. Now let's talk about the physical aspects of filming this thing.
Mm-hmm.
Let's. There's one that Mahir wants to talk about. It's the infrared stuff that we saw
Yeah,
when we were collecting the astrophage, Talmiba, as they call it.
Yeah, so like, you ever done one of those as a kid? You used to be like, you take your TV remote and put it in front of your phone camera, and if you click the button, you can see the red light on it.
Look at.
Do you know about this?
boys? Okay, maybe.
It's-
Oh, I did. I think I saw it.
No, you didn't. Try the other one.
Huh? Oh, this is blue.
Oh, there it is.
I saw the
Yeah.
little green light.
So infrared light is what travels between these things, right? And I think it's just not focused, Ali. That's why it's not showing.
Yeah, Ali,
You saw it, right?
yeah,
But essentially, infrared light is invisible to the human eye, but you can catch it on camera. That shot where he goes into the Petrova line and he witnesses all the red astrophage around him. Astrophage, yeah, na?
This is some of the footage.
Yeah. So basically, do you know how they filmed this? It's not CGI.
How did they do that?
They basically had Ryan Gosling ke ird-gird, they had a bunch of infrared lights that he could not see when they were blinking, but they could see it on the monitor because the camera was catching all the infrared light.
Cool.
Because we can't perceive infrared light. So when he's acting, I was actually laughing during the film. It was like he's in this soaking in the astrophage, but in real life, I know for a fact he could not see shit, and no humans can perceive infrared light, so he's just in there in the darkness.
But that's how they filmed that. Like that's
Yeah.
not CGI. Can you just imagine? That's amazing. That it was one of
so
the
the
most.
close-ups aren't CGI.
Yeah, obviously, it was
Yeah.
one of the most beautiful shots.
Yeah.
I think this one specifically was a beautiful shot, and I really appreciate the fact that it's all practical. We discussed this in Frankenstein as well. That for me, practical trumps.
Practicality, physicality, touching.
It's
so much more important.
Like the connection with Rocky feels more real, knowing that he's a practical thing.
Exactly.
Like if he was CGI, you'd be able to tell.
Yeah.
So that was so we're already on cameras. Cameras perceiving infrared light. This is also an IMAX film, as you guys know, but it wasn't shot on IMAX cameras. IMAX cameras are big, 70 millimeter. Like these
They're wider.
Huge 1.43 by 1 aspect ratio negatives, like this big.
Okay.
They're gigantic. Like Oppenheimer was shot on IMAX, and Odyssey is being shot on IMAX.
IMAX, yeah.
So Nolan loves this format, and it's great because you get so much detail in this big freaking screen. But this film didn't shoot on IMAX. It was shot on Alexa 65s, and I want you guys to see my first thing is the difference in the sizes of the two.
Okay.
Here is a graph of the different sizes of the sensors. So IMAX is this black one right here,
The white. Okay, the white
and
outline.
full frame is like 35 millimeter negatives.
Okay.
Okay, that imagine that's this size. Okay,
And the red is the Arri Alexa 65, which is the film on.
yeah, what is filmed on is this red line here. That's what the sensor was filmed on. But how do you get this to get to this aspect ratio?
I don't know.
Because this is inherently a horizontal aspect ratio, where this is more of a square-ish, 1.43, and this one is 2.11 to 1.
Okay.
So there's different types of lenses.
Right.
Okay, spherical lenses are something that what we use all the time. Like this photo captured by Nexus 6 has been shot on a spherical thing, and spherical lenses, what they do is they refract the light to get a closest approximation of what you're seeing. Okay, and that's where you get bokeh that's more circular, and lens flare that when you trails you get a bunch of circles there. However, this was filmed on anamorphics. Anamorphics are a different type of lens. Here is an example of an anamorphic lens. It looks like this.
Okay.
So in front, where a regular lens would be circular,
Yeah.
these are ovular, as you can see.
Yeah.
So that inherently changes how the light comes in.
Yeah.
Whereas the circular allows it to come uncompressed, ovular forces it to be compressed. Imagine if it's 2.39, so a very horizontal widescreen approach. It squeezes that into a letterbox approach. So you're getting more data, more horizontal data in a vertical aspect.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Mm-hmm.
So it lets you get a wider FOV, basically in the exact same space.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. I've explained it to you how you get more wide in a wide circumstance. But you saw that it already shoots wide. How do you get 1.43, which is more of a square format?
Right.
The cinematographer, Greg Fraser, worked with Arri Rental, right? They made a custom mount for the anamorphic. So instead of it being horizontal, you're getting it vertical.
Okay.
so it's squeezed vertically, so it's compressed this way.
So when you put it on
this way.
IMAX, you get that
You
upper and lower hits
you
as well.
get the 1.43 to 1.
Oh, I
and that's how it's
see.
filmed to IMAX without having to use 70mm film.
That's brilliant.
He deliberately was like, and he learned this in Dune. He
They must have saved so much money with that.
On IMAX, you can only shoot 3 minutes at a time. At open gate on an air, 3 minutes at a time.
That's it.
IMAX cameras are crazy.
They're huge. They make a lot of noise. They make a lot of heat because they're negatives. So you have this moving part going throughout the whole
Nolan's
thing.
films are expensive for a reason because he's like, I'm going to use just IMAX.
Exactly.
In fact, a lot of films that say, especially early on, that say, this is an IMAX movie. Usually it's like 5 minutes or 10 minutes of the film is filmed on IMAX, not the rest. In fact, in like, for example, Avengers Endgame specifically, in Avengers Endgame, if you watch Avengers Endgame, if you could put a clip, that would be great, Ali, while we talk about this. You know the part towards the end battle where the aspect ratio changes. Do you remember?
Yeah.
The aspect ratio changes. It goes from square to wide to square. Then there's black bars, then there's no black bars. You don't really notice it in the cinema because the screen is built that way. When you watch it on DVD or something, then you notice it because those are now cameras being changed. So like if in that Avengers shot where they have all the characters, that was shot on IMAX.
That's why it looks so tall.
Huge. It was to get everyone in. And then you cut to Captain America saying assemble and the aspect ratio changes because they don't need IMAX for that shot. It's a close-up.
So we saw the film in 2.39.
Yes.
Okay, that was like the wide theater. But and that's why the framing in some of the space stuff looked like off, like some things were getting cut.
Yeah.
Because we were effectively losing detail. We didn't see the whole movie.
We didn't see the whole movie because our screen, especially in Pakistan, our screens
There's
are not
no
up to date. The IMAX तो यहाँ पे है ही नहीं. लाहौर के अंदर एक IMAX cinema था, वो भी अब बंद हो गया. So a lot of movies that we watch, we don't get to experience the full version of those films. Like if you saw Oppenheimer in the cinema, like Arena or something, you probably did not. You probably getting like show that picture again with the different aspect ratios. So Oppenheimer was filmed on IMAX, but we probably saw it in the red line.
I get it.
So
I get it.
all of that
You're
we
missing
didn't
out.
even
We lost
see.
out all that detail.
Okay, I get it.
As a result of this, also, it's more of one of those luxury things. So filmmakers keep in mind that even when they're filming on IMAX, to not put anything crucial to the plot in those borders.
And that's why anamorphics. You've seen J.J. Abrams films, right?
Yes.
The
lens
you have
flare.
the lens flares, but they're like horizontal streaks.
Yeah.
That
Show
go
him an
through
example. Show him an example.
Oh yeah, this is what an example. This photo was captured by Ozark. This is what anamorphics do. This is how their lens flare comes in.
This has
on
become
the
sort of like a
horizontal
trademark
plane.
of J.J. Abrams, where he uses this lens so much.
Example of a J.J. Abrams film.
Star
Star Trek Into Darkness, Star Wars: The Force Awakens, Star Wars: Rise of Skywalker. So a lot of those shots where you see the sky or the sun or anything, you will see lens flare and sort of like a J.J. Abrams a trademark sort of thing at this point.
Okay.
But here's what it looked like in Project Hail Mary. Do you see how the
it's
lens flare are vertical?
Yeah.
Because that's how he mounted the thing.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool.
But it wasn't all shot on IMAX.
No, definitely not.
There were all the space stuff. All of it was shot on Alexa 65.
Okay.
So like the IMAX.
Are
version
there
of it.
actually any shots here that were filmed using an IMAX camera?
No. There also Greg Fisher was like
But they were all created in a way to fit on the IMAX screen.
The space stuff was.
Not the rest of it.
The stuff on Earth was filmed on a 2.39, 2.11, the same way it usually is.
Yeah.
The regular cameras, but they added an extra element to it. Okay. Do you remember what it was like for Grace to remember? It was all this.
Yeah.
One of our fans mentioned it was the strobing effect. It was all this hazy.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So how do you get that practically? Because that was also done practically. They filmed it at 2.1 or 2.39. I can't remember. And what they did was they projected it at a wall, and they refilmed that projection at the wall on a film camera.
Oh,
And
I see.
so the way you get the streaking
Yeah.
is that not this one is you have Arri sells not they don't even sell this, they rent this out. It's a modulator on when the film gets exposed.
Okay.
So when your film gets exposed, black insert because this physical thing, it has to actually expose the negative itself, otherwise you're getting smears, right?
Yeah.
So the modulator helps you expose when the film is on transit. Does that make sense?
I'm curious as to what this video is about, Ali.
So this film shows how they're doing it. As the film is moving forward, the exposure is during the transit of the film
I see.
to its next position.
I see.
So if you're exposing during the transit in the next position,
see how the
you're
dials
getting the
are-
streaking.
So cool. Okay, now I get it.
Yeah.
And that's how they achieve this look.
That's really dope.
That's really cool.
That's really dope. Dude.
And it adds to that hazy, I can't remember
Yeah.
effect
Yeah,
to
I
it,
can't
right?
remember this. This looks crazy, dog. I don't remember this at all.
So I feel like this is what they were talking about, the strobing. I couldn't see.
Yeah, yeah.
But I feel like
yeah.
it adds to the
I think
story
that was the purpose. You know, it's one of those things.
He
How do
couldn't
you
remember it either.
Yeah.
You're in the same boat he is.
I love that.
But yeah.
But
But yeah, that's the practical stuff from the only reason I bring it up is that I had to explain all of this to you guys because otherwise, without the background of it, it doesn't make any sense or why it's so beautiful and why
Yeah.
the technical aspect. Because listen, it is very expensive to shoot IMAX.
Oh yeah.
But this guy made a way to be able to shoot on something more affordable because this can shoot 11 minutes
And have the
continuously
look of IMAX.
I'll tell you something.
and still fit the aspect ratio.
Yeah.
This little segment of yours has done for me, and it does every time, is it reiterates the respect that I should have and other laymen who watch films should have for movie directors, movie producers, guys who handle the photography, all that stuff, because it is not easy.
This
It
is so
looks
difficult.
so many times, including myself, have people sat there after a movie and go, you know what, I could do something like this, and then you just realize
Yeah,
no,
you
you
can.
can't. And that's why it takes an expert, and that's
But-
why it takes years of experience and training and this and that, because this shit ain't.
Like,
easy,
imagine
dog.
like if the second AD, so the second assistant director calls in the is handling the actors and everyone coming in. So if the actors are showing up for an early morning shoot
Yeah.
at say 8 a.m.
Yeah.
the camera team, the lighting team,
Yeah.
the sound team, those bros have been there
5
since
a.m..
like
Yeah.
no, dude, they've been there since morning 1 a.m.
Yeah, setting everything.
Because setting all the lighting rig up, setting all the cameras up, doing test shots
Yeah.
with the stand-ins, and then because you want the actors there as
You know,
minimum as possible. They're only there for their scene.
Their time is how much money is in the budget.
They're expensive, and you only want them for as long as
They
they're
have to
on
be
screen.
there.
Otherwise, you're wasting their money.
It's funny. So I just want to say, I actually had a discussion this morning with someone about like passion and blah, 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 blah. But this is like, you need to have a passion for this. If you don't love this, you will never.
You will die. You'll kill yourself.
You
But
will.
the most ironic part is, and I know Ali can attest to this, is even as people who are passionate about what we do, while we're doing it, we hate every single second of it.
100%.
I swear to God, art is the biggest drug in the world. Where while you're doing, I swear to God, when I'm animating, I hate this.
Yeah.
I'm never animating
Yeah.
again. I never want
Yeah.
to do this
And then
again.
you
see-
The
watch it.
second it's completed, I'm like, let's do that again. You know, it's like you gotta keep
You're-
hitting
I
it.
You're
will
an addict,
give
man.
you the simplest, the most.
I remember when I
dumbed-
completed Pagliacci, it was an awful experience
God.
making it.
I
And the
also
second
made
it
it
was
worse.
done, I was like, I want to make another one.
Okay. So now we're approaching the end of the film. Closing remarks. I haven't done this in a long time. The reason is because I subconsciously forget, because Hussain's been asking the same question to the future fan.
I think that's
so when
why,
he
yeah.
asked it, I'm like, I completely forget that I
Yeah,
have to ask.
you have to
thing.
ask it from us.
Ask
But before
us-
that, I have a continuation of the bit. I haven't done this in so long.
Oh,
It's that how
one?
do we connect this to Monty Python?
To Monty Python.
And I figured it out. Both of these films are funny. So
Oh my god.
I can't. Yeah, if I could explain my relationship with Ali, I don't think I'd be able to, because there's nobody I love more, but also nobody I want to kill more than Ali.
when I thought of this joke last night, I'm like, this is gonna be the most funny thing I ever do on this channel.
God, I hate you so much.
Because I can only use this once.
It's so stupid, man. Both of them are funny. We did it again, fellas. Oh God, I hate you.
Okay. So for any storytellers out there,
Yes.
film, now that we've done a theater, screenwriter, director, anyone, what do you guys recommend, Hussain?
What do I recommend?
From what you've learned here.
Don't run away from Hope Corps. That's the thing. Don't think you have to make a really depressing, sad film that like is it's like this is how the world really
Dark
is. So
and gritty.
you must know what the.
But
I
the
mean, we
era
already
responds
know.
to-
We already know. And sure, I'm not saying those movies don't have a place. They have a place, but don't be afraid of making movies like this. And again, it's something I always say. This movie did it well. They did not treat us like idiots. Oftentimes,
Yeah.
movies treat us like idiots, and they baby everything down for us. Here, it didn't. Here, it treated us like adults. Sure, it simplified some things, and they did it in a way that wasn't offensive.
What do you think, Mahir?
I think a lot of storytellers get jumbled up in the universe they've built. Like, oh, let's look at the technicalities. Let's look at how this character behaves. Let's look at how that character behaves. And that's all fine and well. But, I mean, this is a movie about a coward scientist who's thrown into space and he becomes friends with a rock and they save the world. But this movie is really just about friendship.
Yeah.
Damn, bro.
Power of friendship really saved the universe.
The power of friendship
Damn,
really
bro.
saved the universe. But like, it's a movie with heart and it's a movie with humanity.
Oh yeah.
And by humanity, I don't mean to, limit it to our species. If there are any other species out there, I hope you don't get offended by the.
I don't think
my
they're gonna
very-
watch our show.
Maybe they do. Maybe
Our
maybe
podcast.
Our podcast is the only thing they ever watch on their planet. Let's
Damn.
hope they
Yeah.
do. Maybe they have an entire planet called Film Shilm. Who
98
knows?
subscribers, and all of them
They're
are from
all from
radio.
one planet. But it's the fact that all living beings are connected in some way. The heart of the story is not these guys save the world. I think one of the fans said it's not a save the world movie,
Yeah.
right? But I think it's just it's a movie about friendship and love and kindness and unity. And we talked about this in previous. I think we brought this up in Frankenstein as well, which is you can change things in adaptations.
Yeah.
You can play around as well, but themes and core things need to be the same, right?
The
So
heart.
in this,
heart.
the heart is there. But I think a lot of you, like I know this semester I've got some students that are doing their thesis work. So
Right.
they're coming up with stories on their own and they're more concentrated on, I want to have this visual and I want to have like this cool thing there and everything.
Yeah.
And the core question I always ask them, what is your theme and story about? Don't tell me your story is about another universe where this alien or this character is doing this. That's not what your story is about.
Nope.
Your story is about what somebody goes through and learns from that experience. Stories are built around that. Then you can add the upar, the
cool
masala
stuff, yeah.
and the salt and pepper and all that every fancy little accessories you want to put
Yeah.
on top. You can do that, but at the end of it, strip all these accessories away. It's about one singular theme, right? And I think you should develop those more before you get into the nitty-gritties.
What would I recommend? Because you guys stole my points, you bastards. Is that a healthy obsession with your craft is important.
Yeah.
It's the way that you push the medium forward, and it's a way to push yourself forward too. Would learn from grace, and maybe cowardice isn't the answer that you're looking for, even though it's kind of easy, where you don't want the pressure of the whole world
Honestly,
on you.
I think one of my favorite quotes is bravery isn't the lack of cowardice. Bravery is doing the right thing even when you're afraid.
Exactly.
Yep.
So this is my first time I'm saying this, not on a film-related aspect, but as a storyteller. Please push the manifold for yourself. Push yourself to something that you might be a bit uncomfortable with, to find a way where you'll find something new about yourself that you couldn't put pen to paper before, in a different way, I guess.
Yeah. When's
Anyway,
Veronica-
spin the wheel.
Yes.
spin the wheel.
Oh, okay. Holy crap!
I'm happy with this.
Okay.
Let's go.
Okay.
First Evil Dead movie.
Oh,
Very
yes,
nice.
please.
Very
From Sam
nice.
Raimi.
Very nice. All right.
We'll
We
see you
have our
guys
next
then.
movie.
Our next movie is
Thank
going
you
to be the
guys.
first Evil Dead directed by Sam Raimi. It was back in the 80s. Just to make sure, this is The Evil Dead. You might search up Evil Dead and that'll pull up the 2013 version. We're looking at The Evil Dead from the 1980s.
Thank
Just
you guys
clarifying.
for joining us on another podcast. As
you
recording
enjoyed this
this
episode.
it's a bit more hectic, so you guys have a better experience than we did yelling at each other for a while. We're at episode 11 for the people who are constantly joining. Thank you so much.
Thank you,
wouldn't do
guys.
this. We wouldn't have done this after episode 4 if people weren't watching, to be honest.
That's true. He's absolutely right.
Ali's got
He's
the little
absolutely
hope core
right.
element in here
Yeah.
now. He's like,
Yeah,
oh,
no.
guys, it's because of you guys.
Thank you for supporting us.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
We really appreciate it.
Yeah.
Take care, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Oh my god, I
I
gotta
fucking
bounce.
hate our fans.
He's gonna put that at the end.
We should. They suck ass.
No, no.